What's up, burners? Welcome to another episode of Burn This Podcast. It's Brandie Posey, your hostess with the mostest hostess cupcakes. Nope, no, Little Debbie fan, personally. I am the founder of Burn This Records. You're hearing from me, which means I have a new album about to come out this week on the label. Katie Bowman, out of Denver, Colorado. She is a very funny, weirdo, awesome voice that I'm so excited for you guys to get to hear. This is Katie's debut album. It's called Neurodivergent Nightmare. I'm really proud of how this turned out. Katie crushed the recording and also, frankly, this interview. So enjoy my conversation with the delightful Katie Bowman.
We don't need no water, let the motherfucker burn.
This podcast. I'm house sitting and I thought I was going to make coffee, and then her coffee pot is not working currently. So then I tried to make cowboy coffee by just pouring everything into a pot.
Ooh, yeah.
And I was like, I'll just like bring it to almost a boil. That'll be fine. But then there was like no strainer. So I was like, well, let's see how much I can do with like a colander. And then there's so much grounds in it. So I just said, fuck this. And now
you're like, I can't.
Yeah, now I've got a sparkling yerba mate. And that's
not, those are good though.
It is good. It is good, but it's like not, my mind was like in hot coffee zone.
The placebo too. Like, it's like, I feel like it's a whole thing having a nice hot cup of coffee to like wake you up. I feel that too.
Yeah, but I'm okay. I mean, I've been up for a minute anyway. I've just been looking at sad things online. But hey, you know what? We're here to talk about happy things.
Oh, trust me, I am like that. That is like literally. It's so funny because I just did Chris's podcast and I was like, "Can I ask you how your release week like up to went?" And she was like, "It was very stressful." And I was like, "That's how I feel like I'm gonna be."
Aww,
because I just got scammed and all this shit. And so,
of course, like that in the midst of everything else. For the listener, Katie is amazing. Definitely buy her album. She's also going through so many scams currently, and they're out there in these streets.
They're getting really good, and I'm an old soul, so I just get scammed all the time. I'm preparing my brain for it, you know, like for when I get old.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming for us all eventually, faster and faster. I just want to start like using AI to like just ask for affirmations from them that they're not going to scam me, to be like, I can't use you for real things, but can you just like, will you just be nice to me in the future? Can you just tell me that it's not going to be that bad?
Yeah, like, can you say that like my art can exist while your art exists, AI?
Yeah, exactly. If we're gonna do this, then like, can we just like try to set some like a friendly relationship? Because I know I've been yelling at all the robots in my house for the last several years, and like, if they want me to stop that, can you tell me? But in exchange for that, I'm gonna need you to just like let me earn money as an artist.
Like, let me
is that
exist.
Doable? Yeah, I'll stop terrorizing the Alexa.
Oh God, you just made me think of like, what if they brought back, they're like, we actually don't need any modern day comedians anymore because we have AI. So we brought back George Carlin, we brought back
oh boy, you know it's coming. I mean, just the darkest thing would be a hologram of Carlin doing his act, because his act would hate it so much. It would just be like the most cursed. But you know, the timeline that we're on means that that's what will happen. And you know what, Katie, it's good to be prepared for that. I think emotionally.
I'm just thinking of like a what is it called again? Is it holographic or hologram?
Hologram.
Yeah, a hologram of Chris Farley, and it's just like breaking through the walls.
Yeah. Yep. That's coming. I mean, I'm all right with some of them, but goddamn. I would rather have none of them. Oh, great. I'm saying this and like a black Apache helicopter just like went past. Oh, and I'm having a real moment. I also just like did that. I waved at the helicopter. But what actually was happening is like a man on one of those hoverboards just went by fanning himself in front of me, and that he thought I was waving at him.
He's like, "Oh yeah, you like that?
Do you like this?" He's looking at an iPad and he's fanning himself on his hoverboard.
A hoverboard.
I actually
Oh
hate
my
him.
God.
It was just a lot.
Dude, I cannot tell you how many people get their shit effed on these like scooters and shit. And every time I see them like on a sidewalk or something, I get so mad
Yeah.
I feel like it's like you're the kid I never had. Get the fuck on the street. Like, why are you right?
Seriously, they're really dangerous.
I
They're
know. And
really, really dangerous.
you're not supposed to be on the sidewalk. Like,
Yeah.
you got to be in the street. That's why there's so many accidents because the sidewalks aren't even.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's
so
funny.
many comedians hurt themselves too. Sorry, what
Oh,
were you
oh,
saying?
oh, no. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're in Portland right now, and the last time I was there, well, not last time, but a few times ago when I was there, the only time I've ever really ridden a scooter is because I didn't have a rental car, and I was like a little bit, the buses weren't working, and I was like, whatever, I'll take one to my
Yeah.
show. But like a man in a Prius was so mad at me being on a scooter that I was like, oh, he just was like, get off of the road, like screaming at me from his
Oh
car.
my
And I was like,
God.
not helpful. And then on that same trip, I also saw like a pile of them in the river. Like somebody had clearly just rage piled them just in the water. And I was like, well, that's not helpful either.
Oh my God, that's so expensive. Like, are they?
Exactly. I was like, oh my
It's
gosh. Yeah.
these late stage capitalist movements.
I know. It's just
It's
like
like,
the dumbest moments of the French Revolution, but like
yeah.
is where we're at. We're in that pre-stupid phase, but it's with stuff. It's like a man. Oh my God, I was gonna say like a man wearing Ed Hardy, and that reference is like 20 years old at this point. But like Affliction or whatever the like new douche tech clothing
Yes.
is, just that's the villain we're dealing with
Well,
right
and it's
now.
like the scooters are so I get so mad when it's always a man yelling at a person on a scooter who's riding it in the road like they're
Yeah.
supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
I was leaving an Avalanche game with Brad like back in the winter fall time, and there was a guy on a scooter, and this guy in the car was like yelling at him, telling him to get on the sidewalk. And he was like, the guy on the scooter was like, you fucking white people, you cracker. He called him
Mm-hmm.
cracker ass N word. And he was like, it's supposed to be. And I was like, I know, like I could feel it, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's like you are wrong. You're not so like these scooters are allowed to bikes and scooters are supposed to be
You're
on the
supposed to be in the
road.
street. You're supposed to be in the
Yeah.
street. We have to make room on the sidewalks for the delivery robots. That's where they go.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
do you guys have those in Denver yet? The delivery robots?
No, but I've heard of these in California, and I'm
Oh
really
boy, you'll see them.
interested to see this.
You will see them. It is shocking. I know some people that think they're cute. They fill me with like a rage because they have eyeballs and they have names. They'll just be
Oh
like,
my gosh.
my name's Kirby. And you're like, no, you're not. No, you're
Yeah,
not. You have
you're not the Kirby we love. Like,
no, you have a SKU number. You're a robot. See, this is like why I need to talk to AI because this is what I do. Immediately
yeah,
start bullying them.
I know.
I was driving into town today, though, and I saw this billboard, and it said, be a dad today. And I was like, oh my God, that's so nice. You know, it's like almost forgiving. Like as if the dad can just show up whenever he wants. Be a dad today. It's just like so much nicer than like what I get targeted for, you know? A person with a uterus, bunk. Like sometimes I'll see a billboard for me and it'll be something like, a fetus can drive at 6 weeks. It's like, oh my God, what happened to science? Buy me dinner first.
I hope you don't hear him, but my Jack is like rumbling around behind me right now, just kind of like, "Meow, meow, meow, meow," but I don't think he'll get
Yes.
picked up on the microphone.
No, I can't hear him at all. But Diego does the same thing. We got the needy boy.
I know. You talk about this on your album. We both, I mean,
Yeah.
which I identify with. I have an evil dog as well.
Same, I know. And like it's like almost it's to me it's like kind of being like from how I grew up in Texas where I'm like, I know we're all shitty, but only I can talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. We did a photo shoot yesterday because like we just had our 15th anniversary, me and Jackson. And for the last few
That's
years,
amazing.
especially, I've been like, we're going to celebrate this. And if that means I look crazy because I'm spending money on a photo shoot with my dog, I don't care. I'm not going to have children. I have no real
I just love,
responsibilities.
I feel inspired. I'm like, she got him there and he didn't bite anyone. Like, that's amazing.
He's old enough now that he's more tired than angry. And I think
Yeah,
it's like
that's
this
kind of
sweet
how Diego's
spot.
getting.
Yeah, it's a really nice spot that like he let the photographer like pet him, but he grumbled at him. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, great. You're not friendly. You've never been friendly, but you have finally just given up. So
I know it is a sweet spot. I know Diego is the same way. He used to like charge dogs all the time. There's this dog, Odie, that lives next door to us, and he's like massive, like literally, he's some kind of mutt. Like I don't know like what he's bred with, but he's bred with like 2 insanely huge dogs. And he's like 3 times the size of Diego. And Diego's like a 45-pound dog, so he's a pretty big dog.
Yeah, big boy.
And Diego used to just like grab on the fence and go, like he'd shake it, he'd cock his head back like that. Like he's giving him his everything. He's like a little Mick Jagger up there about to be like, I'm gonna give you the hits. Like, and then now when he barks at him through the fence, Diego's just like, ooh, I don't want to deal. And I'm like, wow.
He's still Mick Jagger, but it's like the Rolling Stones are not performing the way they used to.
Oh, absolutely. Dude, I saw them in like, I think I was 13. So it had to have been like 2003 with my parents, and they were amazing. Still old as hell.
Yeah,
and Mick Jagger's like dancing, doing everything. And now I'm like, I wonder what it's even like now. Because I'm like, does he dance like that still? Like,
I can't imagine. That would be a good like, if you're still living and you get a hologram of yourself to perform, but then you were just sitting in a chair in the back going, yeah, like that. I'm okay with that because you've consented at least.
Yes, yeah. He's like, I wanted to be this.
Yeah, totally.
He also just did like an SNL sketch, right? Like,
did he
just did the Sister Kevin? He was like a nun.
Oh, that's funny.
The Bad Bunny was on SNL. I don't know who's hosting, but Bad Bunny actually did really good. It's a good sketch. I was like,
okay.
I feel like it's funny. Everyone's always like, SNL's so dead. And I'm like, listen, you guys, I don't know if you've noticed, but it's never going away. SNL will be here when the world ends.
Yeah, cockroaches and SNL and Lorne Michaels is like absolutely.
He is a cockroach.
Like, he is a cockroach.
Like, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he could, like, honestly, that would be a great Halloween costume for him.
It
just
would
like,
be.
I'll be here forever.
You know, it's funny. We had like an animal communicator on Lady to Lady one time who we asked her like what her favorite and least favorite animals were to read. And she said that her least favorite animals were, she'd gotten brought in to read an infestation of cockroaches at a house. And they were like, they acknowledged her and they were like, that's cool. We don't really care about people. Like they don't have they're not individual. They're like a hive mind.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like
and they were like,
body problem.
Totally. And they were just like, we know we'll be here after you. So we don't really care what you think. It was their whole attitude, which also feels like Lorne Michaels. So
yeah. Oh my God.
Yep.
I love living in Denver. Denver's crazy. You know, it's really interesting. Denver's like a really dog off leash place. It's my one complaint. Because I have a blender for a dog, okay? I don't know what it is about my personality. Anybody adopt a dog that should have been put down? Hey, I'm the hero here. You think you're a hero, but you're actually just avoiding a lawsuit for like 14, you hope 14 years, maybe less. No, but I love him. And he's like, he made it to 10, give it up for him. 30 faces later. No, I'm just kidding. He's fine. I don't know what it is about my personality, but every time I go to adopt an animal, I find the most like saddest one in the corner, and I'm like, oh, I can fix that, you know, like, and that's it. And like people in Denver, like they just have their dogs off leash like a mile away, and they'll be like, she's nice. I'm like, okay, well, mine's not, okay. Mine is not. Like, I feel like people that walk their dogs off leash are a lot like people that say they're good at drinking and driving. It's better this way. It's illegal. Someone could die. Okay, that's a fucked up part. Like, I just want everyone to live. Like, why is that? Why am I the bad guy?
She's a chug, so it's like a Chihuahua pug mix. But I'm obsessed. I was like, you know what? If I get another dog after Baba, which I know me, I know I'll probably need something furry again.
Yeah, it's like
my
amazing.
my thought process is like, there's so many dogs that need homes.
Yes.
I'll never judge anyone who gets a new dog after their dog, you know? Like, why would we?
For sure.
Why would we? But I was like, chugs, this is their second chug, and they're just all like this. They're like super docile little like nuggets. They just want their titties rubbed.
Yeah. I mean, I relate. I understand.
I know.
Go for her. Yeah, I think that there's like, I don't know, once you've had a pet and like I don't know, I think it's like it is an honor to that pet then too, to like adopt another animal and give them a home afterwards. Like I really feel like once you can do, you know that you can do it. And everyone can probably take care of a pet, but like once you've like proven like I'm a good pet owner, I can do this. Like it's our duty, you know. We've got
it's our duty to give
animals.
them homes. Yes. I know I have friends that'll be like, okay, don't judge me. I know my dog just died 2 weeks ago, but I already adopted a new dog. And I'm like, I would never judge you for that.
I would never judge you. It's like, did you name it the exact same thing and did you buy the exact same dog? Maybe I'm gonna give you a tiny bit of judgment, but you probably didn't do that. You probably just went down to the pound and were like, oh, this other beautiful soul like needs me.
Like, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I know.
How long have you had Diego for?
Dude, Diego, so he just turned 11, I think. Wait, so he was born in 2013.
Yeah, it's 11 then.
Yeah, so that's 11. Yeah, and so I got him like I think a little under a year after he was born. And he was just such a mess, so protective. Oh my God. But like when you see them, I mean, I know this is in my album, but I have a joke about it where it's like, I don't know what it is about my personality, but every time I see like the most fucked up dog on the corner, I'm like,
yes,
that's the one.
Yeah, they're my favorites every time.
Me too,
like, I wanna help this. Like, yeah,
I know, because you know they would get put down without you. Like, people, everyone.
Yeah, and it's like also like people. I don't know. I love all dogs, but when a dog doesn't like everybody, but then that dog likes you, it's like a real compliment.
You feel chosen.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely.
And I love it. And then at the same time, when people get upset and get bit by dogs, I'm like, hey, not every dog likes everyone.
I know. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm also making excuses for bad behavior. And like, I mean, I personally am always like, I probably should have trained him better, but I got him when I was 25 and like, I don't know. What do you want?
Yeah. Yes. That's exactly. I got Diego when I was, I think, 24. Yeah, I was like 24 years old, and I lived with roommates. And this poor guy, he was dropped off by the shelter from his previous owner, and he's an Aussie, and they're very like latch on dogs, you know. And I mean, I think every dog feels displaced when they've been returned by their own owner, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely.
It's one thing to like get a dog and then be like, actually, I don't think this is a good fit for me, and return it within like the same week that you tried it out. Like I get that kind of thing. But like this person had him, I think, probably for like at least like 6 or 7 months before and then they returned him as a puppy.
Yeah.
And so he was so like just a shell of himself when I got him. And he was like the sweetest little guy. And then like after about a day or two, he was like, no one's allowed in this house. And he's just trying to prove himself. You know?
Yeah. He's like, what's my job here? I need to know what because Aussies love a job. They're like, oh, who am I? I'm a worker. Show me what I do.
He's like, I can't get fired again.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
do you live here? You don't? I'm gonna have to bite you.
Exactly. Oh my God. Have you painted a lot of pictures of him? You for the
Yeah.
listener, you are also a very accomplished artist, under the
Oh,
curly
yeah.
bush online, but you
I
paint a
have
lot of
so
pet
many.
portraits.
I love painting people's pets. It's like my favorite thing to do. I actually just did one. So before they got Monkey here, they had this sweet little chug named Penny, and
Oh,
she had cancer, and she beat cancer, but they were like, she might not live that much longer.
yeah.
And they got 3 years out of her.
Wow.
Um, and then she passed away. And so I didn't know she was about to pass away, but I was like painting them
Hmm.
a little doodle of her for having me. And then I was like, oh, it'll be good. But it's like my thank you too. Like
Yeah.
when people let me stay at their houses, I'll paint your pets.
Yeah. No,
So let
I
me
love
stay at
that.
your house.
You come stay with me anytime you want.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
But no,
that.
it's definitely, it's also just, they're so easy. It's like, I feel like you can get away with, um, I mean, I've always been more impressionistic and like expressive than realism in my art. And so I don't mind, like, I love painting people too, but portraiture gets more complicated and people get upset
Hmm.
when they can't see themselves. And like, I
Yeah.
don't know, people are so weird about like commissions and stuff. So animals, it's like, so you can't fuck up an animal.
Hello, this message is for the people of Green Bay, Wisconsin that might be listening, or anybody nearby. The really cool thing is happening the weekend of July 18th through the 21st of this year. There is a record store in Green Bay called the UFO Museum, and they do a cool punk festival every year called the Green Bay UFO Invasion Fest. And this year, for the very first time, they are doing a comedy stage that has been curated by our very own Kristen Leidy here at Burn This Records. And everybody on that stage is a Burn This Records homie. They either have an album out or they're going to have an album out, and we're like in works on that stuff already. So if you live in the area, we would love to see you. Come on out. I love everybody that's on this festival. It's just going to be a real fun Love Fest weekend full of really funny comics. If you live anywhere nearby, July 18th to the 21st, and you get to see Gwen Sunkel, Kristen Leidy, Dwight Simmons, Zach Peterson, Katie Bowman, me, Matt Alana Martin, Jordan Sermonara, and Anna Valenzuela. That's 9 killers, 1 festival, UFO Festival. Will aliens be there? I don't know. I hope so. I'd love to meet one, but I'd love to meet you more. Unless you're an alien listener. If you're an alien listener, reach out. Bleep blorp me. All right. Nanu. Back to the show. So you studied as like an artist then, and then you pivoted to comedy at some point, or like not pivoted because you still do art, but like you expanded to stand up at some point.
Oh yeah, I was in art school for such a long time, and then thought I was going to be in grad school, and then like 2 weeks before my grad applications were due, one of my mentors was like, "I'm sorry, but I don't think you're ready for grad school," and
Oh, damn.
so she refused my letter, and I had already paid all these fees and stuff. But part of me also was like, I mean, I respected her as a person, you know, and so
Yeah.
it hurt a lot to hear that. But then part of me was like, well, what does she mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I actually ended up just not eating the cost and like not going, like submitting to any of these grad schools
Mm-hmm.
and staying in Denver. And then around the time, you know, I was still like obsessed with comedy and watching lots of comedy. And I like in a roundabout way like found improv classes, and then I was like, wait, no, like I totally want to do this. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's funny because it's like, you know, you might have got this rejection letter,
Mm-hmm.
but then you found comedy, and like I wouldn't have found comedy if she didn't reject me like that. And then now, and then I was able to go back to my art later after taking a break from it because I was
Mm-hmm.
so burnt out of learning about art, like doing art in a scholastic way. Like I hadn't done art just for me
Yeah.
at all since I was like a child. And now looking back on the portfolio that I was trying to submit for grad school, I totally see what she was saying. I was like, oh
Mm-hmm.
my God, these just look like school projects. They don't look
Mm.
like actual. And now if you look up the Curly Bush, which is my art handle,
Yeah.
like you'll see, you're like, oh yeah, this is Katie. Like this is Katie's art. But like I
Yeah.
didn't have that when I was that
Mm-hmm.
age. And so I was just so used to doing school. And I'm like privileged to be able to go to school, like college and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when you grow up with that privilege where your parents are like, all we want, like my parents were like, we're not gonna pay for every single thing in the world, but we'll pay for your school.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like when you grow up with parents like that are like, yeah, we're gonna put you through school, it's like such a privilege. I'm so thankful for it. But I just wish that I was told like, hey, you could also take a year off
Yeah.
after high school and
Mm-hmm.
wait. And also, um, like really think about what you want to do as a person because they were
Mm-hmm.
just like, you have to go to college. There's no other
Yeah.
option. You're going to college. It's like getting drafted in a
Yeah,
way.
for
And,
sure. For sure.
and, and so I just did it. And I was just so used to being in this like school mindset for my whole life that I
Mm-hmm.
never actually listened to like what I wanted to do, you know?
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, I think that's I love the idea of like that gap year. Like I didn't do one, but like I always the people that I know that did, I'm like, man, that must have been so nice to just like take some time, let everything kind of stop and figure shit out. But also, I think like even getting like a job for a year to make yourself like appreciate what school
Yeah,
is, like I would have liked that because there's definitely
me
stuff
too.
with school that I was like I just didn't, I took a lot for granted because I was like, yeah, whatever, I'm always in school. And then you're like, oh no, at some point this will be over. But I'd never had like a
Yeah,
full-time job or anything until after I graduated. So there was this like,
yeah,
you know, I don't know. I just like, I took it for granted. It's there's some aspects of college that I definitely took for granted that I wish I had like
same.
had a little bit more perspective on of like how
Me
special of a time that
too.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, like I really wish that I, for my core classes, we also just need to talk about like, I love the John Mulaney joke where he's like, we need to stop sending kids to college until we figure out what the fuck it's for.
Yeah.
Because it's like so true. Like you go, and
Yeah.
it's just like, if you don't know what you're doing, you're just funding that university 100%. You know, like you're just
Yeah.
giving them money. And like, that's what it is. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
hate that it's also this like capitalist contest to like get the classes that you want.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just have so many people in the school that like
Yeah, you
only so
might
many
not
kids
get
can
it.
sign up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, if you don't get that teacher, then it's pretty unlikely you're gonna make the BFA program. What?
Yeah.
That sounds
Exactly.
like a fail on the school. Like
Yeah, exactly. Things are set up wrong. That's not how it should
totally.
go.
Yeah, I definitely took, I think if I just had a year before college just to like appreciate who I was as a person and understand.
Hmm.
I've always had like restaurant jobs and stuff when I was going through, like I had a job. My parents were very overbearing to me, like with school and stuff when I was younger. So I wanted to be independent as soon as I could be. So I like
Hmm.
always had some kind of job, but then I also knew that I was like this artist and that's
Hmm.
probably always so I always had like a sandwich job or something.
Yeah.
Um, and still I just wish that I like figured out the balance of everything and understood like
Hmm.
exact I don't think I even like I feel like my ADHD is so crazy and focused on just like doing everything and like I was excited about the classes I was taking because
Hmm.
you just take all these credits. You need this many credits to graduate and this many, whatever. But then you get to the end and you're like, oh my God, I never took a science core class.
Yeah.
So then you're taking the science class with like a bunch of freshmen and you
Hmm.
like also feel like a huge idiot because you're like, I haven't done anything like this since I was like
I remember like
18, you know?
they had a physics for artists class that I took my freshman year of college and they like rounded gravity to 10 instead of like 9.8 and I was like we all have calculators like we don't need like this is like I like was in honors physics. This is actually like very insulting. I just like am an artist, but I can be smart at other stuff too. Like literally like it's not that like that's the
That's
hard part of this.
so
Okay.
funny. Oh my God. My core class that I forgot to take, I tried to take black holes as a
Oh,
core science class.
I would
And it was
love
just like
that.
it's called like
Yeah.
Intro to Black Holes. But I never took any physics class in high school. And um I
Black
cannot
holes is
tell
like
you how
theoretical physics too. That's like intense,
oh
like,
my God, I
right?
felt like an idiot. I felt like I was like in another I was like in a simulation or something. Like I was like or a dream. Like I would go to the lecture hall and be like, I don't understand a thing this teacher is saying. Like, like I'm a smart person.
You are. That's crazy they let you in that class. Like there's like
I
a
know
lot you should know before you're just like so black. Here's the concept of a black hole. Okay, cool. We don't know what time does or gravity does inside of it. Does it take you to the past or the present or the future? Like there's so much stuff about black holes that's just like theoretical crazy shit that it's like you got to have some foundation before you just like
yes.
So let's just learn about this.
Even just also you need to know the physics alphabet or whatever that is. Like you need to know like all these like different equations. She was like writing stuff on the board and I was like, I don't even know what that symbol means. Like and I was like, I'm so fucked, I gotta drop this class. And then they charged me for dropping the class and I was like, why did you let me do this?
They shouldn't have let you in that. That's crazy.
My friend's an astrophysics major and she was like, that is not a class for not physics majors.
No way.
Yeah, she's like, that should be like limited only to physics majors that got into the physics program. Like, like, how did I end up on that roster? Okay, and you took my money, thieves.
Yeah, total thieves.
So it's almost been 2 years since I quit my day job. Yeah, and I still do. Thank you. And I still do like look at job boards, you know, but I get so scared of a regular 9 to 5 after working at my job because it was really stressful. And like every job application I look at now for those are just the worst. They're all like, we need an innovator. We need a people person. We need someone that knows Excel. It's like, just say it's a call center. We know what you're doing to us. And like the job that I worked at was that I worked at Planned Parenthood for 6.5 years. Thank you. I know. It was a crazy job. It was a really wild job, you know? Like people think that all we did was abortion, and I wish it was. I'm kidding. I used to have a beautiful tag to that joke, but then Roe v. Wade got overturned, and it made it really sad. Because I was too optimistic that would never happen. But do you guys want to hear it anyway? Okay, well, I was like, why ban abortion when you can get a van abortion? Beep, beep. Just kidding. Now that's actually happening. Out back, after the show, I got you guys. That's my side gig. No. All right, you made it through all those so well. When I was single, I thought I was so naive in my 20s. Like I thought the best of everyone, and I was so excited about reproductive health. Then I was like, this is who I am, and I still think that way. You know, like it is a part of me forever. I met the best people in my life working there, and I will never regret it. But you know, like I put it on my dating apps that I worked there, you know, it's like, you want to get a stalker? Here you go. And you get a lot of really crazy, like some of the apps, like OkCupid, not a lot of people use that anymore, but back in the day, like anyone can message you on that app. So I got a lot of feedback, you know, like some people would be like, oh my God, I love Planned Parenthood. I get tested all the time. And it's like, you should marry that person. No one ever says that out the gate. And then this one dude was like, you should have been aborted. I know, it was really mean. And it was actually like paragraphs, but that's mostly what he was saying. And, you know, it was like 2015 when that happened. So I was like, yeah, at least he's pro-choice.
How did you end up working at Planned Parenthood with like how did that happen?
There's this awesome comedian from Denver called Miriam Marino. I don't know if you've met her, but she was working there at the same time. And I was looking for a job and she was like, hey, I could get you a job. It's just a call center job, but I mean, it's cool work that we're doing. And it's Planned Parenthood. And I was like, oh, that sounds sick. Like, sure. And I just really needed a new job. And so I got that. And then she went and worked in the clinics. Because you work your way up at Planned Parenthood. It's kind of like a pyramid. but it is
no. It's a pyramid for good. It's a good pyramid.
Yeah. Like they're like, we hire within. And it is a corporate organization like
Of
everything in
course, yeah.
America, and there's things that they can fix that are better, like the pay rate. And
Yeah.
I guess Planned Parenthood also has like a racist history. The like Margaret
Hmm.
Singer like was like a KKK member, which is so interesting to me because I'm like, how you're like, yeah, women deserve abortions, but I'm also going to be like, I'm also going to have like something so
Hmm.
like human and be racist about. Like, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're trying to rebrand that, so that's good for them. And like a lot
Yeah.
of organizations came from that, you know?
For sure,
Um,
for sure. There's like a lot of like really great like abortion acts, like local and like stuff that I don't think would have been elevated necessarily in the same way without Planned having the name recognition that does or whatever,
yes,
you know.
absolutely. And they still all work together and stuff. And so I
Yeah.
worked in the call center for a little less than a year, and then I transferred to the clinic because the call center, dude, call centers are so
I can't imagine what the call
just
center at Planned Parenthood is like. Like you, man, you've have had a career filled with trolls because like
yeah.
I can't imagine what the
I
phone calls would like at that place. It's
know.
just people being like, "Jesus, take the wheel" every day.
I love that you like immediately were like, yeah, that's gotta be bad. Because that's
Yeah.
exactly it would. And also, I mean, that's the sad part is that okay, so there's this really good book you should check out called A Story Called Jane.
Hmm.
And it's about the abortion history in the United States. And it's about when Jane's specifically started in Chicago.
Hmm.
And for the listeners, Janes were what the code name for I need an abortion. I need to talk to
Hmm.
Jane. That's what
Hmm.
people would call when they were pregnant and needed to get an abortion. And they would they had a whole system of like getting people abortions before it actually became Planned Parenthood eventually.
Mm.
But it's an interesting book because it talks about at the end of it, all the original Janes went completely burnout and lost their minds and had to step down from their
Wow.
position. And that's very similar to working there, unfortunately, because
Yeah.
it's like you aren't getting paid a lot and it's very hard work.
Hmm.
And you're going against an entire country that thinks you're a baby killer.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's like the resources we don't, and that's like all healthcare too. Like all
Hmm.
healthcare is like, let's prey on it. And it's like, why don't we use the money we're sending to war for this? And so,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, working there, like in the call center, it was so much like random, like religious stuff,
Hmm.
but then also people being very frustrated because there's like a long wait.
Hmm.
But the wait is happening because the country keeps shutting down clinics, you know, and like
Yeah.
Um, it is a lot just like the whole it's very parallel to just like the infrastructure of this country's like economy and everything too. Like
Yeah.
we want to help you, we do want to do whatever, but like we can only have so many clinics if we keep getting shut down and all these laws keep getting passed.
Hmm.
And so, you know, in the call center, you know, you're getting screamed at a lot. And also the funniest calls though were like men that would call in and be like, my son's in there and my girlfriend's about to murder him, and I have to, and I'd have to be like, sir, if you're not scheduling an appointment for yourself, we have to end the call. And they're like, my son. And it's like, oh my God, like read a book.
Yeah. Truly, it's not. Also, like, God, if you're doing that, like, how much of the rearing are you actually were you going to do? Or were you just gonna like trot your kid out around like once a year to your Rotary friends or whatever the fuck?
Yes.
Like, oh God,
Like you're
awful.
going, they think they're like, oh my God, I hate that they think they're like doing just all the anti-abortion activists are so fucking stupid. Like that
Yeah.
guy who fucking shot up the Colorado Springs location
Yeah.
literally said he was a what did he say? He said he was an angel for all the babies, or he was there to like, and it's like you're murdering people.
Yeah.
You're here. This whole thing is such
Hmm.
a hypocritical bullshit thing that did not have to happen.
Hmm.
And you calling yourself an angel for the babies.
Yeah.
Angels don't shoot people,
No.
sir. They just
No, they
don't.
they really don't. And it's also like I really don't get how people don't understand that, Planned Parenthood and these clinics, they do a lot of other stuff besides just it's
Yes.
actually like there's a lot of education there. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. I mean, you talk
Oh my
about
God, so
like,
much birth control stuff.
exactly.
STDs. Oh my God. And like the amount, you know what's sad too is that the stigma is so crazy that again, straight men just are always dropping a bomb on themselves. Like there'd be times where a woman would get chlamydia and we'd be like, okay, you always, if you get chlamydia and you have any sexual partners you're in contact with, you can have partner treatment picked up by you so that you can treat them.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, or actually, that's not covered by insurance, but still, you get a prescription for someone, they don't have to go in, you can just give it to them.
Yeah.
And men will refuse to take it. It's so funny, like, not one woman has ever done this. It's always men. Like, every time a man comes in, I have chlamydia, I got it. The woman takes it no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, women are just so,
Mm-hmm.
we're so trained into thinking that, like, we are the organ,
Mm-hmm.
that, like, you're like, yeah, I got to keep this temple working, I guess, you know, like, and like you are like so on your own in this country that it's like, I'm going to take this medication no matter what. These guys are so ignorant that a woman will, they never get tested. Then their partner tests positive for chlamydia. They probably gave it to them. And then they're like, hey, you gave me chlamydia. You need to take this treatment.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, you're lying. And then, the girl like will accidentally have sex with them again because she thinks they took it, but they never came up and picked it up or anything. And then she has to get retreated. And I'm like, straight men are just exhausting.
It's really shocking because it's, I mean, I know it's not shocking because it's like, I know there's a lot of people like that out there. I just like can't, I don't know. I've been very lucky with partners. I've never had anybody that has done anything like that. And I'm always just like shocked that people stay with somebody like that. Like that would be such a boom, done, bye.
Yeah, same. I know. And like you feel so bad too, because you're like, clearly anyone who's been exposed would just be like, can you treat me? Like, end of story. But then they're literally going to be like, I don't have chlamydia. Like that doesn't, the fact that this isn't setting off red flags or like little alarms in your brain is such a huge red flag.
Like, totally. It's like
so crazy.
I don't know if it's distinctly American, but it feels like such an American like ability to be like, nope, just gonna deny the reality, and my will of what I believe to be true is what will be true. And it's like, no, but there's like, I don't know what to tell you, man. There's like a lot of illnesses out there. There's a lot of shit that's happening that you can't just be like, no, with your brain.
Yeah, like you have it. And honestly, you're going to keep getting. Also, if everyone loves babies so much, it can make you sterile over time. So, do you want to take the meds or not? Like, I don't understand why we're. Yeah, it's so fucked up that they do that. And I know I would never have sex with them again. Probably if like it was but you know, it's weird because like I've also seen partners who one of them gave each other chlamydia and the partner's like, no, it's okay. Yeah, I'll take these meds and they stay together and they're fine.
Yeah.
Because one of them didn't know. And a lot of the time, you know, people don't always follow the directions and everything. Like you really cannot have sex with it for 7 full days.
Yeah.
And that was another phone call that we'd get all the time where they'd be like, hi, so this is crazy. And I'm like, I bet I can guess it.
I didn't realize chlamydia was such like a prevalent.
Oh my God. Like, well, and syphilis is on the rise now, and it's among all sex parties. It's not just like one. Yeah. And so it's part of from what I understand, my friends who are still working in sexual health are saying that it's part of the routine screening now. Because everyone's just fucking, I don't know what's happening. Our country is not teaching like good information about these things.
That's why.
So that's why I'm doing it on my album.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you're talking about this stuff on there. It's a very, you know, there's educational moments. The edutainment is rife on this album, which I love. Yeah, I mean, I am there. Yours is the only album I put out so far where I've had to like double check that I'm spelling track names correctly to be like, wait, Trichomoniasis.
Trichomoniasis. Yeah.
Am I right? And I know how to say it now because of you. So thank you.
I know. You just have to think of it like you have to, honestly, I know Harry Potter's dead to us, but like you got to go into it with that Harry Potter mindset where you're
Excrucio.
like,
yes.
Trichomoniasis. Like,
that fully is what you have to do to get it out.
I also learned to do like phlebotomy and injections there. Don't worry, we got training. It's not like they just like handed us a bunch of needles at orientation. We're like, fuck yeah, feminism. You know, like we got the training, and phlebotomy training, I gotta say, very draining. Okay, come on. So good. But it is. It's honestly like people treat phlebotomists terribly. I never had any other job where I go in and I'm like, hey, how are you today? And they're like, well, I hope you're better than the last person. You're like, I feel like I'm gonna not miss this vein at all. Like I feel so good about this. Like, why would you yell at the person with the needles? They just want to do a good job. So the next time, you know, you get a blood draw, just like stay hydrated. Don't be a little bitch and we won't miss on purpose. No, I'm really good at blood draws. Very good. People would get like obsessed with herpes blood draws. And this joke never lands because everyone's obsessed with herpes blood draws. And I'm like, dude, herpes is crazy. It has literally one of the highest suicide rates upon diagnosis, higher than HIV. Isn't that crazy? And I would just feel so bad. I feel so bad for all those people that killed themselves because they found out that they had herpes, because they definitely got to the other side of whatever afterlife is and then realized all of us have herpes. Oh, you guys suck. It is very likely that you have it. It's a very complicated virus, and it's just like a skin problem. It's non-life-threatening, and people get so sad about it, and I'm like, grow up, okay? Like, if you have herpes, that just means that, like, maybe your grandma kissed you goodnight one night when it was a baby, or you get laid a lot. I'm just saying, you know, you could get laid a lot and be a person that has herpes, or you could be a loser that doesn't have it. Just kidding. Also, like, I think it's funny how people don't really know how to leave urine samples. Because it's like the most straight up thing, you know? Like when people would come in, I'd be like, hi, you're just gonna leave a little bit of pee and then you're gonna put it in the cabinet. People put it everywhere but the cabinet. Sometimes they come out and try to hand it to me. And then there are little angels out there that put paper towels, like a little paper towel koozie, around their urine sample and then put it in there. And I think that's the sweetest thing, because they must think that I have to go in there without gloves on. And just raw dog it. I keep it like a fine wine. I do keep all the pee. No, I'm just kidding. And my favorite part is we always say just a little bit of pee, and what do you guys do? You fill it up. Yeah, people fill it up. I can't tell you how chill it is at like 8 a.m. to take a full hot cup of piss out of a cabinet. I die when I spill it on myself. I can't tell you how many times I've spilled pee on myself. A little piece of me has died, you know? So the next time you leave a urine sample, just like pour a little out for the homies. I thought it would be so funny to like have that as merch. So I like made a little paper towel koozie, and it's like a little piss cup that's like, and I was like, nobody wants a piss cup koozie, but if you do, they're $5 after the show. Anyway.
You got an album coming out. You deserve to be celebrated for it. You're killing it. You got a special to go with it. Where can everybody find you online, Katie?
So my website is katiebowman.rocks. And
Love
then
that.
online, I'm Katie Bowman Comedy. So subscribe on YouTube for Katie Bowman Comedy. And then also you can follow me on TikTok and Instagram as Katie Bowman Comedy.
Yeah, follow her on all the things. And the curly bush is like for your art too.
Yes, the curly bush is my art handle, and that is on Instagram as well.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Yeah, go follow Katie. Go
Yay!
see all the things she's making, and get ready to like listen and see her amazing special. I was there and was honored to get to open for you for it, and like you
I was
killed it.
honored that you were there. Like
Aw.
again, I probably said this so many times on other recording things, but I was like, I looked up to all the ladies when I was a new baby. I still do, and
Aw.
you guys still have such a good rep in the comedy scene, and
Thanks.
they're just good people.
All right. Everybody, well, the album is called Neurodivergent Nightmare, and you can pre-order it now. Be out soon. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Woo!